Hello everyone, this video is of two parts. Part 1 will deal with these two charts from chapter 14. So, let's start with the chart 14.1. We all know that an adjective modifies a noun. As you can see here in A, the adjective old modifies the noun book. You should also know that a noun can be a modifying word. As in B, science modifies book, and in C, dress modifies shop. You have to know that an adjective is always singular. Now we move to chart 14 for adjectives and adverbs. We already know that an adjective modifies a noun, as in A, slow modifies reader. We have to add here that an adverb modifies an action or a verb. So in B, slowly modifies reads. You should also know that to make adverbs, we add ly to most adjectives, as you can see in these examples. You should also know that some adverbs take the same form of the adjectives as you see in these examples. You should also know that well is the adverb of the adjective good. Now we move to part 2 of this video, chapter 15, where we have to look at these three charts. Now we move to chart 15.1, the comparative using ER and more. You have to know that to compare two persons or things, we add ER or more to the adjective plus than. So in A we have taller than, and in B more important than. Now, when do we use ER and when do we use more to make the comparative form? If the adjective is one syllable, then we use ER. And if the adjective ends in Y, we change the Y into I before we add the ER. Now, if the adjective is with two or more syllables, then you have to use more. As for the irregular comparative forms, these need to be memorized. So good becomes better, bad, worse, far, farther, or further. Now we move to chart 15.2, the superlative, using est and most. You have to know that the superlative is used to compare three or more things or persons. Now, when do we use est and when do we use the most? If the adjective is with one syllable, then add est. If the adjective ends in y, then change the y into I before adding the est. Now, if the adjective is two or more syllables, then you use the most. Please note that you have to memorize this table. These are the irregular forms of the adjectives good, bad, far. So good becomes better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, far, farther, the farthest, or further, the furthest. Now, let's go to chart 15 for making comparisons with adverbs. You have to know that to make the comparative form of adverbs ending in ly, you have to use more than. And to make the superlative form, you have to use the most. Now, concerning the irregular adverbs such as hard, fast, early, and late, you have to use er and est to make the comparative and superlative forms, as you can see in C and D. Now, you have to know that better is the comparative form of the irregular adverb well, and best is the superlative form of the irregular adverb well. Thank you, everyone.